Today on the Magic Truck Guy, we've got the Edge of Eternities. Let's do this. We got the Shocklands, we got Ouroboros, we've got the Riddler, and we've got a bunch of other great cards. Let's see what we can open up today.
Vem caixa tá preparada pra fuder sua safada. Vem sentando na piroca, sua piranha safada.
Alright, let's go, let's go. We got the Edge of Eternities. There's a lot of huge cards in here. Let's do this. Alright. I'm on the edge of eternities. Alright. Add that in there. What did they do here? So maybe they're listening to me, maybe not. I don't know. So this looks like, well, at least there's no advertisement on there. So, okay. Alright. I'm okay with this. That's better than the usual. Okay. Okay. Oh, would help if they were in the right direction here. Common. Pollinator, that's pretty popular. Dark Endurance. Depressurize, okay, that's still seeing some play. Pretender. Desculpting Blast. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Landfall trigger. And the Acolyte. Lifelink, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Okay. Okay, not bad. Void, at the beginning of your end step, if a 9-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. And we got the foily Skittermaw. Okay, yeah, so Warp was the big thing here, and also Station with these packs. And so there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with Warp. Yeah, there's a lot of cool Warp cards. You can hit people, surprise them with warping something in. The Nutrient Block. Boy, that reminds me of being in the Army. I've seen a couple Nutrient Blocks. Crasher. War Rager, Skittermaw, Non-Foily, the Whale, Intervention, System Override, okay, gain control of target artifact or creature, untap it, gains haste. I do like playing these sometimes. It catch your opponent off guard and take their best creature. Titan. And the Moonlit Meditation. First time you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many tokens that are a copy of Enchanted Permanent. I'm surprised that hasn't seen more play. It seems like a really interesting card. You could do a lot of fun stuff with that. And I'm surprised that doesn't see more play. Especially that with maybe some token generators. You could really have a pretty big turn. Vanishing Light, that gets a little annoying. Okay, Honor. +1/+1 counter on target creature, draw a card. Okay, pretty strong, pretty strong. The Ascendant. Creatures you control. Scour for Scrap. Not bad. And okay, we got our first borderless we get Reflecting Pool. Alright. Beautiful. Ragost, Deft Gastronaut. Lobster, huh? Okay, artifacts you control are food in addition to their other types. Pay 2, sack it, you gain 2 life, so it turns them into food tokens. Interesting. Sack of food deals 3 damage to each opponent if you gain life untap. Okay. Okay, pretty strong. I could see that being... yeah, it's an interesting commander card. And we get the foily land. Alright, we're looking for the Riddler, we're looking for Ouroboride, and there's one rare that's a really strong rare, besides the lands, and then, let's see, there's only one uncommon, it's red. I don't think we've hit it, and there's no common cards that are above $2 value. As all the money is in the mythics here with the Edge of Eternities, so hopefully we get some good mythics today. Unravel. Remnant. Dubious Delicacy. Target creature gets -3/-3. Okay. Okay, not bad. Servandam, the Lucent. Death Touch Lifelink. When it enters or attacks other creatures you control, gain Death Touch and 1/0. Okay, pretty strong for an uncommon. Devastating Onslaught. Here we go. We got our first mythic. Create X tokens that are copies of target artifact or creature you control. Those tokens gain haste until end of turn. Socket them at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Scrapbot. Land. Okay, first mythic, Devastating Onslaught. Yeah, token creation is pretty strong. It's pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see that card if it was in the blue-green color scheme, just since like Doppelgang is so popular. I'm gonna be skipping through most of these commons and uncommons. There's actually this might be it. This might be the one uncommon. You can have combat on your turn. Target creature gets 1/0 and gains first strike. That might be the one. I don't remember if that was it or not. Dawn Strike Vanguard. Dauntless Scrapbot. Pull through the weft. Guided by Light. Alaya. Whenever another creature or artifact you control enters, gain 1 life. Draw a card if you gain 3 or more life. Okay. Pretty strong. Pretty strong. I'm not sure why the white weenie deck's online. I don't know why they're not playing that. That should be in their deck. Seems like a pretty good card. Token. Okay. Common. And first command bridge. Tragic Trajectory. Target creature gets -2/-2. It gets -10 if a permanent left the battlefield or a spell was warped this turn. Okay. I like it. I like it. Seed Ship Impact. Virulent Silencer. The Specialist, the Biotech Specialist. Create a lander token whenever you sack an artifact. This creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. Okay. Okay, not bad. Not bad. That's also something that's brand new with this set. You get the lander token. And we haven't hit one yet, but I guess we'll stop. We'll talk more about the lander tokens once I hit one here. Drone token. Common. The commons. I mean, the depressurize. That might be my favorite common. We don't get enough love for the commons and uncommons. They don't see enough love. Everybody's looking for the money. They're looking for the mythics and the rares. Edge Rover. Full bore. Okay. Okay. Strong card. I like it. Beyond the Quiet. Exile all creatures and spacecraft. Okay. I like that. I like board wipes. That's good. That's good. They're necessary. You need them. Scoutlander. Ooh, okay. So we have our first full art island here. That's pretty cool. All right. I'll have to start a different pile for that full art. There we go. Human Soldier. Common. Common. Oh, a little companion. Gain 1 life. Okay, not bad. Blade of the Swarm. Put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature. Put exiled card with warp on the bottom of its owner's library. Interesting. So they gave us a way to interact with some of these cards with warp. That's pretty cool. Okay, there we go. Stomping Ground. All right. All right. As this land enters, pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. Awesome. Great card. Oh, we got mythic. There we go. Caravan, Memorial World. Enters tapped. You can station, and once you get to 12 station, sack a land, create a 2/2 colorless artifact creature token. Then creatures you control get 1/0 and gain haste until end of turn. Okay. Okay, pretty strong. And, you know, getting to 12...
No, you're not.
It may seem like it takes forever.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
It's worth it. In most cases, it's worth it. I think the green version of the land is the one that people are playing the most right now. But, I'll take it. I'll take any mythic that we can get. Let's go. Weft Stalker. Okay, this is it. I think so. This is it. The Weft Stalker Ardent. Whenever another creature or artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then you can warp it in. So turn 1, warp that in. You're getting some damage down. Okay. What do we have here? Walking Haven. Oh, okay. I don't even... So this is the full art version of... So this is a mythic. This is exactly what I was just talking about. So this is the green version, and it has station. And it's essentially, if you're an OG player, or if you know about the older cards, it's basically a guy as Cradle once he's stationing. Okay, Vendo, there we go. That's awesome. There we go. All right, we're at 3 mythics already, folks. That's awesome. Let's do it. And then we got the foiling land. And so we finally get to talk about so let's talk quick about the lander token. So you pay 2, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and now it's been really, really strong with the green. Just the green, mono green beatdown decks and the blue green aggro, and it's really strong. It's just a good idea in general. I like that. I like the lander token idea in general. Seed ship. Scrounge for Eternity. Uh-oh. Expansionist. Team leader. Okay, we got our first spacecraft, the Synthesizer Lab Ship. Station at the beginning of combat on your turn. Up to 1 other target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power, toughness 2/2, and gains flying. And then once you get to 9, this becomes a 4/4 flyer. And now for 1 pretty strong. Pretty strong, and then you follow it up on turn 2 with something good, before you know it, you got a 4/4 flyer. Man. Okay. Okay, we're off to a strong start here. Looking for that Riddler, looking for Ouroboride, even though I hate playing against those cards, but everybody seems to love them. The Riddler was especially popular, and now it seems like everyone's playing Izzet's back on top again. Oh, we got a 9 casting cost, warp it in for 3. Okay, interesting. Resolve. Fallen. Followers. Faithful. Secluded Starforge. Pay 2, tap X untapped artifacts. Target creature gets XO until end of turn. It's only 1 creature though, so you better make sure it gets through. Create a 2/2 robot artifact creature token. Okay. And Foily Prospector. And another lander token. Alright. Okay, we're a third of the way done. We through 10 packs, doing pretty good. 3 mythics through 10 packs. I'll take that any day. Let's go. Crawler. How'd you like to see that thing crawling underneath your bed or something? Lost in Space. Greenhouse. Microizer. Space-time anomaly. Target player mills cards equal to their life total. Okay, interesting. Yeah, mill. I haven't ran into too many mill decks, but it's making a comeback. Mill is popular. It's making a comeback. And we got the full art mountain. Beautiful. Yeah, the full art lands are beautiful in this. Sliver. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, there's a sliver. I think it's a rare. You make a couple of 1/1 like tokens at the beginning of your upkeep or something like that. That card I lost in my pre-release event. I lost to someone that was using that card. Okay, what do we got here? The Wandering Fumoral. This land enters tapped. This is our rare. Until end of turn, it becomes a 1/4 with switch this creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Okay, so that can surprise people if they're not paying attention to your lands. All of a sudden, you hit them for 4. But, that's pretty cool. I like it. We got a double rare. There we go. The Arch Enemy's Charm. Now this does see a lot of play with that Golgari Reanimator. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Return 1 or 2 target creature or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains lifelink. Strong card. You got a Foily uncommon. X-proof. Tough to get rid of. Tough to get rid of that little 1/3 flyer. Worm. All Fates Scroll. Okay. I'm surprised this doesn't see more play. I mean, this is kind of like the Chocobo racetrack a little bit. So whenever a land enters, you make a 2/2 robot artifact creature token. Okay, so then on what would it be? I'd probably for most people would be turn 3. So on turn 3 you warp this in, then you play your land and you get a 2/2. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I'm surprised that doesn't see more play. The Ice Still Explorer. All right, we got him. We got the Insect Scout. There we go. I believe this is the top rare. Oh, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. You may play lands from your graveyard, huge. And whenever a land you control enters, mill a card. Yeah, this guy's huge. Alright, that's awesome. Oh, there we go. Tezzeret, the Cruel Captain. There we go. Let's go. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. Untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And for 7, you get an emblem at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a creature. So you don't even have to run that many creatures. You can just turn it into a creature. Foily operative. Lander token. All right, let's go. That would have been an awesome pack to open up for just, if you just got a single pack after an event at your LGS. That would have been an amazing pack. Let's go. Robot token. We're going to move a little quicker through the commons. So you're starting to see all these cons. Debris Field. Dual Sun. Tapestry. Memnon. Utheros Exile. Okay, let's go. We got another spacecraft. Battle Cruiser. When an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. Flying Death Touch. When this attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. Flying Death Touch. Crazy. Foily Rig for War. Island. Okay. Common. Drone. Okay. Voidborn. Rampage. Infiltrator. Ooh. The Jellyfish Rogue. Bro, come on. What is he infiltrating? I mean, look at that guy. Sticks out like a sore thumb, man. Come on. I mean, that guy's a rogue.
Are you serious right now, bro?
All right. Chorale of the Void. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped. Okay, interesting. So you're taking your opponent's... Well, the thing is with that card is... You don't know if maybe your opponent doesn't have that many creatures, or maybe you don't want their little, maybe they're playing white weenies. You don't want their little 1/1 creatures or little, But, yeah, tough card. That's a tough card. It maybe a sideboard card if you knew who your opponent was, and then of course you have to keep up with warping stuff. Litho, Rammer. Assembler, maneuvers, okay. Weapons manufacturing, alright. Whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, create a colorless artifact named Munitions. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Now, I recently lost to this. It was this, and then it was a card called Food Fight, I think. And then Food Fight makes it so that your artifacts have a pay 2, and you can sacrifice it. It was a pretty strong deck. Robot token. All right, looking for that Riddler. We're looking for Ouroboride. Let's go. Let's get one of the top 2 cards. I've been wanting an Ouroboride for a while now. Let's hit that. The Timeline Caller. Okay. Haste, play this card from your graveyard using its warp ability. Okay. Been seeing this a little bit. Mono Black has been playing that. Same riff. Download. Servondam, Sunstar Exemplar. Vigilance Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Servondam. You gain 1 life. When it dies or is put into exile, well, its power is 4 or greater, destroy 1 target non-land permanent. Okay, pretty strong. Pretty strong for a 2 casting cost. And we got the full art forest. Beautiful. I don't know what those little beams of, some kind of weird, maybe it's some kind of tracker beam or something, but who knows. Lander token. Depressurize. Sentry. Eject. Scoutlander. Watery Grave. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Terminal Velocity. Double rare pack. Okay. You may put an artifact or creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That permanent gains haste. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature. And at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this permanent. Interesting. Okay, we got the triple rare pack. Pinnacle Starcage, foily rare. When this enters, exile all artifacts and creatures of mana value 2 or less until this artifact leaves the battlefield. Pay 8, put each card exile into its owner's graveyard, then create a 2/2 robot artifact creature token for each card put into a graveyard this way. Okay. Interesting. Another lander. Okay, a lot of setup there for that, but yeah, it could potentially pay off if you're playing against one of those decks using a bunch of artifacts. Close Encounter, Brood Tender, Disculpting Blast, Brimtar. Okay, the Frenzied Bailiff. Been seeing a lot of this guy. This is a staple for blue-green aggro. This spell can't be countered. Trample Haste. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Combat damage cannot be prevented. This was the big hype card, I believe, when we were seeing the previews for Edge of Eternities, and people were saying, you know, the power creep on this. It is pretty insane for 2 mana. You just didn't see a card like this. I mean, this would have maybe cost 4, 5, 10 years ago, and you know, more than 10 years ago, it would have been probably cost 5 or more mana for a card that has all of these abilities. Just an insane card. Foily Close Encounter, Swamp, Robot Token. All right, we got 10 packs left. Still looking for that Ouroboride. We're looking for that Riddler. I know it's in here somewhere. Common. Command Bridge. Common. Full bore. I like it. Go full bore. Go if you can. Go full bore. Monitor. Mutinous Massacre. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them, they gain haste. Okay. Cool. Foily Mechan. Lander. Edge of Eternities. We've been doing pretty good. We got, what, two shock lands? We've got 3 or 4 mythics here. Let's go. Let's get that Ouroboride. I can feel it. It's like whenever you play Standard now, you're seeing Cub turn 2, and then, you know, turn 3 Ouroboride. Okay, we got the Foundry. There we go. Requiem Monolith. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature is dealt damage, you draw that many cards and lose that much life. This creature's controller may have this artifact, deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery. I'm not sure. I know there's probably some good use for that card, but I can't think of it. Unravel, or those counterspell players. There you go. There's your foily Unravel. Control what everybody else is doing. Keep them from playing their big card on turn 3. Tractor beam. Don't get stuck in that. Eulogist. Reckon. Ooh. Oh yeah. Harmonizer. Whenever a land you control enters, double the power of target creature you control until end of turn. And the full art Harmonizer. Some things are bigger than oneself. Nice. That's awesome. That's a good hit. Oh, we got another mythic. Let's go. Dawnsire. Sunstar Dreadnought. Whenever you attack, it deals 100 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Okay. 2020 flying. Alright. I'm not sure what they were thinking with this as some kind of... I don't know. That's pretty awesome, though. Foily mythic. You know, we got a full art mountain. Lander token. That's awesome. Alright. Well, not exactly the mythic that we were looking for, but we'll take it. We'll take any mythic on this channel. Let's go. Let's go. Command Bridge. Put that off in its own little pile. Okay. What is the deal with this guy? We'll stop really quick. Tanuki, Memorial Ensign. Whenever a land you control enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time it's resolved, you get to draw a card. So this is pretty strong. You got your lander tokens, and then you've got a few different spells that can bring your lands back into play. And he's a 2/4, so he's pretty tough to get rid of with having 4 toughness. Trooper. Okay, we got another spacecraft, the Lumen class frigate. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. And if you make it to 12, it's flying lifelink 3/5. Okay, pretty strong. Pretty strong rare. Got the foily Thawbringer. Regular forest. Lander token. Common. We got the Faithful. Reroute. Don't make me reroute this. The Terra Botanist. Okay, that seems pretty good. Rampage. Alright, Memnon, the right hand. Flying. Look at the top card of your library at any time. Cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap, add 1 blue. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. Would it have been too strong to, if it would have been any artifact spell, would that have been too strong? Put a comment down below. Would that have broken the Memnon robot token? I don't know. Common. Oh, little companion. Specimen. Intimidator. Alpharel. Dreaming Acolyte. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. It's got Death Touch only on your turn. Alright, not bad. Not bad. The Sledge class Seed Ship, okay. Station. Flying. When the spacecraft attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. I'm kind of surprised this doesn't see more play. Yeah, it seems like a strong card. It doesn't take that long to get to 7. Foily Luminary. Foily Land. Robot token, okay. Come. Harrier. Mouth of the Storm. Graveship. All Fates. Okay. Extinguisher Battleship. When it enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. The spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Flying Trample. 10/10. I don't think it would take that long to station 5. I mean, this is just tough to cast at 8. So that's kind of like the reverse of what we've been seeing for spacecraft anyway. You usually have a lower casting cost, and then it's a difficult to. Oh, we got our first. That's a foily full art mountain. Nice. Yeah, so that's kind of the reverse of what you're hoping for. I mean, if you can make it to 8, that's awesome. Or if you can find a way to cheat it onto the battlefield. That would be crazy if that. So if that battleship, if that card would have had warp, that would be a pretty crazy warp card. The Emissary. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 drone with flying. This token can only block creatures with flying. Okay, and then you can warp it in. All right, not bad. Foily Zookeeper. Regular lander token. All right, last 2 packs. We got the last pack magic. Let's go. One of these is going to have Ouroborite. One of them is going to have the Ouroborite. I'm calling for it. Let's go. Psionicist. Say that 3 times fast. Okay, we got the Swarmyard. All right, there we go. Regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. All right, nice. We got the double rare. We got the Harmonizer. Okay, awesome. Double rare pack. Foily Zealot. Full art land. Lander token. All right, last pack. Let's go. It's right here. This is it's a double mythic pack. Ouroborite and the Riddler. Double mythic pack. A null. Grove Strider. Zealot. Captain. Bioengineered Future. When it enters, create a lander token. Each creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter for each land that entered onto the battlefield. Okay, so you want to play your lands first with this. And foily rare. Guided by Light. Beautiful. Of course. And a lander token. And we can stop that. All right. So, what did we spend? We spent about, let's see, taxes, 180 plus another about 8. So we spent 198 on the box. I'll have to total all up and see what we ended up getting. We got some awesome shock lands, and we did get the top rare in the set, so that's helpful. And yeah, we got to open up a bunch of good cards, and we didn't see the Ouroboros, we didn't see the Riddler today, but maybe for another time we'll come back to the Edge of Eternities, and maybe we'll open it up next time. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And once again, hope you have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless you. Take care.
Vem caixa, tá preparada pra fuder sua safada. Vem sentando na piroca, sua piranha.